I'm quite disappointed because this should have been a coherent process in combination with the current administration, and that the process of how it's going to be futurely governing, whether it was going to stay as a democracy or not, was going to be discussed with the people of Afghanistan. But it seems that this has just it has been handed to them. The fact that the president of Afghanistan had fled, there was no protocol on how to handle the current chaos and who was to take power. The fact that the United States mandate was to take out its own citizens and not to care about the issues and challenges that the Afghan people are going to face, alongside with UK and other NATO allies. It's very concerning and very, it's a sad state of affairs, and it's just like history is repeating itself.
As you say, so many concerns about, as you put it, history repeating itself right now. You are in touch with people in the country. What are people on the ground saying? What are you hearing about exactly that the US embassy staff are being evacuated, but people are being left on the ground, and the future looks so uncertain and so frightening?
The frightening aspect is rightfully there due to the uncertain future. My members of Her Afghanistan are scattered throughout Afghanistan in 24 provinces. Now, the rural areas haven't been shocked as much as the urban areas have been, due to the level of freedom, especially that females had access to. Mainly in Kabul, there was freedom of mobility, male chaperones, there was no curfew. But in Mazar, in Herat, Kandahar, and other Jalalabad, women were not allowed to move as freely, and it was more of a conservative town. Kabul is taking this very difficult, it's a very difficult process for them. This phase of uncertainty has hit them hard the most. The fact that they are not aware of where the gender inclusion and the structure and the society of Afghanistan will be. This is nothing but terrifying for them. But when you look at the rural aspect, there were very little job opportunities for women in the rural areas. There was access to education, and that access to education hasn't been halted as of yet. But it all depends on how the leadership is, the political leadership, and how connected they are to their military commanders on the ground. There's a lot of uncertainty and concern for the future.
And very briefly, Afghanistan's Minister of Education, Ranjina Hamidi, is quoted saying she is fearful like every woman in Afghanistan. We heard a woman in that report saying she isn't scared of the Taliban. Very briefly, talk us through the fears in the country right now for women in this moment.
It's quite amazing, the resilience that Afghan women hold, how strong they are. And they're the ones who have continue to endure the struggles of Afghanistan. They are the stronger of the gender, and they have changed. So I know that the Taliban are not the Taliban of the 1990s,
right.
And the Taliban should be well aware that the public is also not the public of the 1990s. The public
right.
are educated. They've had freedom of autonomy, freedom of access to economic opportunities.
Exactly.
They're educated, and they're well spoken, as you had shown earlier in your show.